welcome to another installment of Tag Me In with a triple threat brain trust tag over the good, the bad, and everything in between in the world of professional wrestling. I, of course, am the unofficially official Lit Dizzle, joined with none other than the less than stealthy. Whoa, I'm sorry. The mega power unicorn himself, Powerhouse Dude.
Yeah, you know, so I can't do that snarl like Hobbs be doing, but you get the gist.
Got that upper lip like all curled like this.
Yeah, I can't get that snarl. But this lets you know I'm bringing y'all back-to-back podcasts of the Power Game. I keep trying to tell y'all it's all about the Power Game.
And sorry, let me get the bravado out of my voice and bring it down to a nice whisper. The ASMR shit.
You gotta bring it on down a few levels and a few octaves, you know.
Ladies of the IWC.
All of you out there.
The heartthrob of said IWC. Hager. Bombastic. So fantastic. If he had his own ASMR channel, you'd subscribe to that and be right back. Hager Bombastic.
Back in the back. To the back in the back. we might work on
AEW, just like I was telling Scoot before we even started, it was I don't want to say it was okay. It was kind of a blah show, but I thought it was a necessary show because of what it did. So to me, yeah, it was blah, but it wasn't a bad show. And the reason I say that, because we're going to get into it in the specifics and the details and shit, but I liked it because it seems to be the beginning of what they should have been doing a long time ago, because it seems like they're integrating a lot of the stuff that they do on Elevation and Dark into Dynamite. And we'll get into that when we talk about said matches and said segments that were going on. So I enjoyed it for that reason. But before we get into all of that, we have to get into, well, of course, if there is any news.
There's a few.
So, of course, well, then let me just go ahead and say it. Time to get into the scoops with Scoot. Or Scoop with the scoops, the scoopity goop doop doops. There we go.
So, I know some of you people out there have been waiting with another vote with your wallet. So right now, we're going to bring y'all a little preview. You know what I'm saying? To go ahead and whet the appetite.
Oh, I like this.
We're going to whet the appetite. So this week, AEW revealed some more footage of their new wrestling game. And WWE released new developer diaries of WWE 2K22. And WWE, did y'all not learn at all? Like this shit looks the same. Nothing looks different.
Does it?
If you look it up, and possibly I don't know, we might get flagged for it because you maybe can possibly pull up both. I don't know, but actually, you know what? Hold on, I will send the link that my brother sent me to y'all right quick because he's an avid WWE 2K fan, and he was not happy. But yeah, I just sent it in the group chat for y'all, so that way you can click it. But definitely AEW's game definitely has some great improvements, some great movements. This footage showed off one Darby Allin, and it was looking crisp. It was looking like a game that I would potentially purchase. WWE 2K22 looks like a game I'm gonna skip.
Yikes!
Let me see what this has going on. Oh, okay. So this is a because the only thing I've seen so far has been like the trailer. So
they got footage of I guess entrances. Let me say that correctly. and it wasn't looking that good. It looked typical. It looks the same. Nothing about it screamed like they made some type of vast improvement.
Yeah, because the way that it is looking from what I just saw, which I'm gonna bring up a little bit of it here. Once I get to the right thing.
Because even if you're a diehard of this series, just lie to me and say that you're excited about this, please.
Yeah, definitely. Let me pull this up here so we can all see, because I moved it to the middle. So there's really not much to go off of.
There's really not much to go off, but after 2 years of working with something, this is what we're looking at, and
this is our footage.
Okay. Yeah.
Oh man, the fans look great.
Like, the game's supposed to come out in possibly a couple of months.
Yeah, and I think that's where the concern comes into play. Yeah. Because of the fact that I could defend this in the sense of, hey, you know what? This is just like the skeleton. They're building the base. The gravity may look different down the line. But with months, just within months, this, we could be potentially looking at,
it may all over again.
It may look somewhat better. Like we may get something that's I'm positive that we're going to get something that's better than 2K20. But
I really do.
Graphically, I mean, now this may take them AEW's release to actually up their game, because think about during the time of like when SmackDown was released, where you had even before then, when you had Raw's War, when you had WWE Attitude, when you had then the SmackDowns, No Mercies, and stuff like that, you still had WCW games coming out as well. So they wanted to be the best on the block. On top of that, you had competing consoles that didn't always have like a universal release for a game. One system would have one type of game, and then just like what SmackDown had on PlayStation, Nintendo had the No Mercies, the WrestleMania 2000s. They had specific titles that were geared towards certain systems.
Even with PS2 and Xbox, because remember the PlayStation still had the SmackDown games.
And then Xbox had Raw.
Like Raw and Raw 2 and
GameCube had Day of Reckoning.
Yeah, GameCube had Day of Reckoning and all that. So, yeah.
So now we're looking at a situation where, because, again, just like WWE's content on TV, they have a lack of competition. So now it's at the point to where they just kind of rest on their laurels and their reputation prior to all this. And there's that. But the caveat in all this, with WWE aside, they had Ukes to fall back on even before the whole 2K thing. And I think with the first 2K game, when it went under there, I think Ukes was still technically working on WWE stuff, which is why I think WWE 13 was one of the better ones. And I think the one after that may have been a good one as well. But yeah, and now Ukes is with AEW, so yeah. We're going to have a situation that actually benefits the fans in this bit. So with this, I mean, again, there's only so much we can go off on, but at the same time, AEW has had the same amount of time working on theirs, or less than 2K has been since they skipped it.
I'll say less, because in my head, you basically took the blowback from 2K20 and they was like, okay, hey guys, 2K20 is so bad that we're going to skip next year.
Yeah.
So it already seemed like Battlegrounds might have already been in the tuck already.
Yeah.
So you would think there should have already been some groundwork already laid out for 22. Because, I mean, hell, they only even showed Rey Mysterio and Cesaro when they initially showed the trailer, and it was like,
trailer, because I think I had just looked at it too.
I'm gonna say, and it was like, that's it, like.
Which again, that's another weird thing because I think that's all. I don't think that's game. I don't think it was gameplay, if I remember correctly.
It looked like it was more like just a good cutscene.
Yeah, I have it right here too. So let's check this shit out.
Yeah, see, I mean, of course, like I said, they saying work in progress, which is fine. Like, don't get me wrong, but
that lag though. No, I'm kidding.
Like,
all right, so then let's unpack that one. Let's take that one into consideration. That one does look better. So if we take that one into consideration, then we can say, okay, they have improved so far at this point better than 2K20. So that's a plus, but I mean that's like saying you serve people shit for like 2 years and finally you gave them McDonald's cheeseburger. It's going to look progressively better, for a comparison. So
you can polish up a turd, but it's still going to be a turd.
That's true. That is true. So yeah, I'd have to see more, but I mean with AEW and with AEW, I mean they have been, I mean, Grant, they've been silent on a few things, but it's almost like they'll speak when they need to speak type of situation. Just like how they showed, the stuff in the beginning with Kenny and Hikaru, and then showing the design of Darby Allin. And I think they showed footage of that as well. I can't remember if you know, Scoot.
The original footage I remember was what? The Jericho, Sheeta, and
Omega? Jericho was in that one too. Yeah.
Wasn't it like Jericho and Omega in the ring?
And Sheeta.
And then
I think it was Jericho and Omega. Then it switched to Jericho. I mean, then it switched to Omega getting Jericho and Omega and Sheeta in the ring. So yeah, that's I'm not mad. And the thing is with AEW, the thing that they have working for them is that this is their first outing, so they pretty much have they can make the mistakes because it's their first game. So they're not going to catch a lot of flack for it, if they produce a bad game. It's not like how, because I mean, even with TNA had a game. I'm not going to say a bad game or a good game. They had a game.
Yeah, it was just
and then they just kind of rested on that instead of improving on there, because I think they had two or three games.
And that's all I remember with that TNA game, a wrestler spawned from that game as well.
Yeah. Suicide.
Yep.
Yeah.
So, but you don't see any more Impact games. So that's
that is true.
That's because they didn't learn from their shit. Not sure who made that game either, but it could have been Acclaim or fuck. Now I gotta find this shit out.
Yeah. I was like, it's been
it's been quite a while.
But yeah, what? Oh, it was Midway. That's what it was. Yeah. What else we got on the docket?
AEW announced their replica title.
That's what it was. So it wasn't them announcing the trios.
Yeah, now they announced the replica title that's going on, I think, pre-sale June 23rd. It's going to set you back $700. But the replica is there. So
what were the prices of like WWE replica belts?
Between 3 and 5.
Yeah, they have 3 and 5, but then they have the replicas that's like 1,000 plus.
Shit.
That kind of has the weight and feel like what the wrestlers have for real.
Yeah.
But just the normal replicas is like $350 to like $5.
Yeah. Huh. I mean, again, AEW has a nice looking belt. Well, they got nice looking belts, period. So, but yeah, 700. I think I'm cool right now. I think most people want to spend that money on a PlayStation 5. Yeah, if they can find it.
So, I guess this was a Tony Khan statement, and it's been, I guess, garnering some attention.
What's that?
It goes, I'm glad WCW failed because it created a vacancy for us to come in and succeed. But it made a fairly bleak period for the wrestling business.
I don't know in what terms he means that, but if I unpack it in a way that I think he's trying to interpret it, then I think it means like it was the start of like that downtrend of WWE like realizing that they don't have competition, so they can kind of just rule the roost after winning the Monday Night Wars and acquiring WCW. Because I mean, you think about the whole that little pocket of once they brought in the whole alliance thing with WCW and ECW having their faction going against WWE, and that being like the worst part because they basically took the worst part of the roster, the majority, because I mean the 10 to 20% of that roster was still good that they brought over, but they pretty much had the good 80% as like the leftovers. So it wasn't like the dream matches that we thought we were going to get, Yeah,
because it was too expensive at the time.
Exactly. And I think that may be what he meant, because during that time, you had indie promotions stepping up, but, none of them really came out of the gate like, TNA did, because TNA at a point was like a mashup between NWA and WCW. So that kind of garnered a lot of attention from them because of the prestige that it had as, for the legacy of that company from what they were standing on. So I think that's one of the reasons why TNA stood such a chance in that beginning portion, because it was, a difference or it was, what's the word I'm looking for? That brain fart. It was something new to go to. It was an option that people had to go and watch instead of WWE at that time. Yeah. So, and it was more indie based because TNA didn't have any restrictions. They still had people wrestling elsewhere. They had that partnership with New Japan. They were working with Ring of Honor as their developmental, pulling people up from there to go to TNA. So, yeah, but.
So I'm going to say this statement personally, and I don't want people to think I'm just capping for WWE or caping for WWE or, trying to be a super fanboy or whatever. We're going to have to realize at some point, WWE, yes, it may be a bad product or this, that, and the third, but without WWE still surviving, wrestling would not be on TV today.
This is true. You are absolutely right.
Because if WCW had failed when WWE bought WCW, and let's say when USA and WWE parted ways and WWE failed when it was on Spike. So there would have been no company that would have rose to that type of prominence within that time frame.
Absolutely.
There would have been no company. So regardless of how we truly feel about WWE, I think that's the issue a lot of people don't do. You have to acknowledge they're the reason why an AEW can exist right now. They're the reason why, hell, even Impact can still be a thing now. Because
the zombie of professional wrestling.
Yes. Because with at least WWE still being on national television, there was still always hope.
Yeah, and that's the thing. Hope. And that's something that a lot of people, a lot of wrestling fans don't really understand, is that because for the casuals, there is no other promotion. It's just anytime you talk about wrestling, a casual person who either watches it here and there or doesn't watch it at all, they're going to associate any professional wrestling with WWE because that is the big brand.
And so my brother said the same. You know what? It was funny because my brother said the same thing because he was like, "What does everybody normally call UFC? I mean, MMA, UFC.
Mm-hmm.
They never call MMA MMA. They usually call MMA UFC. So the same thing with wrestling is normally WWE.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
absolutely.
Or F.
And that's the thing, and it's funny because, you know, for the casuals, they don't know about the rest of they don't know about these indie promotions. They don't know about New Japan. They don't know about Ring of Honor. They don't know about Impact like that. They just know that, hey, professional wrestling, okay, it's a ring, it's in front of fans, it's predetermined, it's the quote unquote fake shit that people tend to watch that they watched when they were growing up, and that's what it is. But you know, so yeah, you are right. I mean, WWE, had it not been for WWE, a lot of these places wouldn't be getting attention. There would not be any AEW.
No.
Or rather, there probably would be, but it would not be as big as it was. I mean, think about for those of you who remember when, you know, before the guys who made Cultaholic left What Culture, you know, they had What Culture Wrestling in the UK. And, you know, you think that would have been what it was had it not been for, you know, one the fans for one, and then two, professional wrestling not being a big thing because of WWE. So, I mean, you have to weigh the pros and cons, and you raise a good point, Scoot. That is absolutely correct. As much as we shit on WWE, what they sacrifice on the show, they make up for in business. So, yeah, I mean, you got to take the good with the bad, and unfortunately, the bad portion of that is really bad, but the business sense in it, you know, they did technically make the sacrifice to become a public brand for marketing purposes. So, you know, it's just a hard pill to swallow at times because we know what WWE has been and could be. So, yeah.
But yeah, so I mean, I don't know. Like, I think one day we will realize WWE maybe isn't as bad. Like,
I mean,
if you don't focus on the wrestling and you focus on everything else, it's not as bad. I know, Jaeger. I know. Sometimes you gotta focus on the business.
You want me to
don't
not
focus on the wrestling and professional wrestling,
right?
Thank you.
They don't.
Thank you.
They don't. They focus on the entertainment.
Yeah, I mean, I get it, but
yeah,
I mean,
but
yeah, take the wrestling out of it.
Take the wrestling out of the wrestling company, and you know they're making money. Yeah,
they're just WE World Entertainment.
Yeah,
I mean, at this point, they got a global market. They have announced teams from like across the globe. I feel like they're just losing sight of why they are where they are.
Yes.
Yeah, I mean it's ultimately all Vince McMahon's vision as far as where he wanted. Because I mean, of course, yeah, he inherited the whole wrestling promotion, but I mean, he has primarily been about like entertainment. I mean, you think about what they were doing with their partnerships with just back in the day, Mad TV, Saturday Night Live. All the shows on USA, those partnerships.
Yeah.
You think about the reality TV shows. You think about WWE studios with their made movies of the Marine. I think the Call, whatever Halle Berry was in.
Movies.
Yeah, the 5 Marine movies.
See No Evil.
See No Evil.
I think there were 6 Marine movies.
Were there 6?
Yeah.
The Collector was originally.
Cena did the first one.
Ted DiBiase Jr. did, I think, the second one.
And I think Miz did 3 through. Oh no, I think it was 7. I think Miz did like 4 of them. And the only reason why they stopped because Miz's character died in the last Marine movie. Spoiler.
Oh damn! Spoiler. Damn,
you're ruining the series for me.
Damn, like he died in the movie. Like did he
Damn.
go out? Did he go like a G?
I think Shawn Michaels was in that one with him, and I think Shawn was like his old mentor, and
Makes
Shawn
sense.
ended up surviving. But I think Miz got like shot up he got shot up, and
Okay, so
he died.
Miz was in.
So he went out
Miz
like
was in
John
3
Morrison.
through 6.
So 6 of them. Okay,
Yeah, he's in 3 through 6. And Close Quarters was the last one.
because
Shawn Michaels was in that one.
Yeah, because that was the one with Becky Lynch and
Yes.
somebody else I think was in that one.
Let's see.
Sure.
Is Shawn Michaels, Becky Lynch? I'm
It
not
might have been
seeing
just
any-
them.
Yeah, I think it was just them because everybody else is
Okay.
at this point like unknowns.
Because
But
that
yeah.
was the rumor that because remember the rumor was that Charlotte was gonna take over the Marine series.
Of course she was.
I know, right? But yeah, so I mean, I don't know. It's gonna because my brother had also made a good point about going back to what I said about all of these shots AEW and Tony Khan them keep taking, that eventually somebody's gonna fire back. My brother said, what's worse, them firing back or them just straight ignoring them? And I was like, damn, I didn't even think about it that way. I didn't think about it. WWE just ignore everything AEW keeps saying and keeps doing and just keep doing what they're doing. That would hurt more to just be ignored.
Yeah, to me, it would hurt more for them ignoring them if they turned around and then started to do better. Like, let's say they took cues from like Hurt Business, Roman Reigns' whole storyline with the family head of the table stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Shit, stuff with the SmackDown's women's side. Let's say they took cues from NXT's women's division and they started to enhance and turn that curve and do better while they're ignoring AEW, then yeah, at that point it would cause a problem, because then at that point they would say, okay, you're not a threat. We got this over here. We're not worried about the t-shirt company. But if they ignore, don't do better, and AEW still talking shit and doing better and better and better, then they're going to start to make waves, because it's like, okay, well, we see WWE's not responding to them. They're still doing what they're doing because, and it's going to make WWE look worse in that sense, because they haven't learned, so to speak. Just like with the video game situation. If AEW has a boss ass game and 2K does not flourish or learn from, one, their past mistakes, or two, the competition, it's going to hurt the sales of WWE 2K games. So
yes.
But we just have to wait and see what happens on this end.
Wait and see.
True that.
But that's really all of the news in between. So we can go into Dynamite.
It's been a tame week. It's been a very tame week.
Yeah, it has been.
For professional wrestling. But that's not a bad thing. Sometimes not much news is probably good news. It means that there's no controversy. So now with just like I said before, AEW again wasn't a bad show. It was just a blah show. But I think they did a lot of the things right. I think where it suffered this week was more so the in-ring stuff. And again, that's not a bad thing. It's just that they introduced a lot of people that's been on Dark, Elevation, so on and so forth. And I think that's still a good thing, because you still want to put fresh eyes on talent that haven't been seen on Dynamite regularly, because it's going to help build more stars, which, of course, like we say, WWE should be doing, instead of giving us the same rematches and recycled shit over and over again.
Or,
this is going to help them.
Not even naming competitors.
Correct. And I think they're doing a good thing with this. Granted, yes, still kind of blah, but it's still going in the right direction. So
I would say this, personally speaking, there was only one legit thing I truly cared about this show.
Really?
Damn.
Like legit cared about. There was other things that I thought was okay, but as far as overall, I was just like, okay, sorry, there was two legit things I cared about. And overall, I was like, yeah, this is a show. This is happening. This is happening.
Well, yeah.
And to be perfectly honest with you, this first match set the tone of why I didn't like it.
And that's kind of one of my blemishes as well. Because yes, that was the MMA cage fight
match
between Jake Hager and Warlow. This pissed me off for reasons. One,
this wouldn't have to be because you're an MMA fan.
I knew this was going to happen. I knew that this was going to be the match that was going to happen. Like, they should have went on ahead and just did their own version of the Fight Pit or the Lion's Den or something, because it wasn't fair, especially to Hager, to advertise this as a MMA fight. And you knew for a fact him and Warlow wasn't going to go in there and just start banging on each other, you know. Like, they wasn't about to go in there and really just throw hands.
Exactly. And this is where it kind of pissed me off, because one avid watcher of UFC, definitely MMA fan, third-degree black belt in kickboxing. Look.
It's got big
whoa. To the people out there who heard that, say that one more time.
Avid fan of MMA, like UFC.
And what was the other part? No. What was the other part you said?
Third-degree black belt.
Third-degree
kickboxing. So wait. You know what they mean out there, people? He could beat your ass and give you positivity at the same time. He could beat the positivity in you if he sees fit.
So here's my thing with it, and the fact that they actually did kind of talk up Wardlow, saying that he had a martial arts background, saying that he did box. This, to me, when I think about that, when I think about somebody with a background like that, I look at, okay, this could be an exhibition. So there should be no problem with them actually just having a small exhibition, no issues. But this was so choreographed, and you could tell that the punches and the kicks were so light and not meant to hurt anybody. Like, it was more force behind them than what you would normally see in like a traditional professional wrestling match. But it
wasn't no Walter and Dragunov.
Exactly. And that's the thing. Yeah, it definitely wasn't that. But to me, it's like, especially with the way that you can see how Wardlow reacted when Hager went for certain shoots, and it's like Warlow had no defense against him. He just kind of let him take him down, and then there was still no defense then. And then the whole standing around thing and just the whole showboating, it was just
they lost me, and I literally stopped paying attention when fucking Warlow hit a Hurricane Rana in the middle of the match. I was done. Like legit. I knew Hager won. I don't remember how Hager won, but I was over it the moment I saw that. I was like, "Yep, this is." I ain't saying I'm the avid. I used to be an avid MMA watcher, but the moment I saw that, I was like, "Yep." And the thing is, I kind of want to halfway show my brother this, because my brother trained. Yeah, and he's even thinking about going back and training in MMA, and I halfway want him to see it so I can get his opinions on it. But once I saw Warlow hit that Hurricane Rana, I was like, yeah, I checked out.
And it's funny.
I gave him credit because, again, wrestler going into an MMA world. I mean, and I've seen a fight here and there. I'm not as an avid watcher as I'm sure y'all two are, but MMA fighters occasionally pull out some wrestling moves.
They do. True. And that's why I didn't trip that one time Hager went for a shoot and Warlow kind of picked him up and just threw him. Yeah. I wasn't tripping because I was like, I've seen that. I've never seen a fighter bust out a Hurricane Rana. Now I'm pretty sure there might be some footage, but I've seen wrestlers hit Boston Crabs. I've seen wrestlers do stuff like that, but a legit Hurricane Rana, hell, to this day, Demetrius Johnson has one of the prettiest transitions I've ever seen when he did that German suplex. When he did a German suplex to an armbar. That sounds weird saying that, but that was the prettiest transition I've ever seen in my life. He did a German suplex in mid throw. He somehow turned around, spun around, grabbed him, and it was like what the fuck? But yeah, but Hurricane Rana, I was like, nah, I'm good. I was good.
It lost me when Wardlow tried to bounce off the cage doing that Superman punch.
Yeah, but
I was like, oh, okay, this is gonna be this kind of a match or this kind of a fight.
Maybe y'all two could tell me. So I checked out. I saw Warlow tried to go for an armbar, right?
Yes.
I don't know. I checked out very early.
Oh, I saw that Warlow tried to go for an armbar, and I think Hager ended up winning with the ankle lock.
No, so he went into an ankle lock.
Uh-huh.
Somehow got out of that. I was honestly checking my phone when I was watching this match. Like, I mean, come on. Like, I when you know the result or you know what the result's gonna be,
and that's another thing
not
too.
as interested.
I knew Hager was gonna, and then it didn't help. They were showing his Bellator bouts before then.
Like before everything. Yeah.
And it was like, y'all not about to go in and tell these dudes to go in there and really slug it out. So stop it. Stop.
And what was it? He won with his MMA. It's like submission move.
Oh, that choke. The choke. That head and arm triangle.
Yeah.
So he went right. I did see that.
He went for that. Wardlow passed out. He didn't tap or anything. So.
Because didn't he hit the Uranagi into it?
I believe
he kind
so.
Of slam him into it? Yeah.
Yeah.
And then the icing on this cake is what the fuck was that ending segment?
Oh, with everybody else jumping in?
Yeah, that was just like
it was. I mean, I know it was kind of. It was kind of meant to set up Sammy Guevara and MJF, but it was
going to happen. Was it next week or in 2 weeks or something like that?
Something.
Oh, that's good. I think that's going to be on the on when they return to Wednesdays. I think.
Yeah. Okay. So I think
2 weeks from.
I think it's like June 30th or something like that.
Yes.
Which thank God I'm waiting for them to go back to Wednesday. I am so waiting.
I didn't like that. Could have all been done outside of that octagon. That could have definitely been maybe a backstage segment. I don't know, but. MJF's little cheap shot on Dean Malenko, freaking. I appreciated him. I appreciated him actually doing something to Jericho and the injured elbow. Sammy Guevara trying to look like Conor McGregor jumping over the freaking cage was entertaining enough. Just give me that outside of the octagon that we don't need there. And you can tell that was also, I mean, I don't know if y'all didn't see the watermark, but it was definitely not a live match.
With the way they had it set up before.
If this had been maybe, I can't even say it should have been a main event because of the way the ring was done.
I mean, it would have made sense because then you would have known since the ring was that way, it would have been it.
I mean, it's a dead giveaway that the show is not live if you transition from an octagon to the actual ring afterwards, like immediately afterwards, almost.
Yeah, when I saw it, as soon as I saw it, I was like, "Yo, this had to be pre-recorded."
Yeah, 100%.
So, yeah, I think we could have all done without this. I think if they would have saved this for like a pay-per-view or something, and they could have done more theatrics for it. Then maybe, but I would have appreciated probably a cinematic match between these two rather than this fucking MMA shit. To be perfectly honest,
or even do the MMA shit during a cinematic match.
Because I mean, let's really be fair and call a spade a spade. This was no different than Raw Underground.
Absolutely, yes.
This was no different than Raw Underground.
I don't need to see another MMA fight in AEW for a while.
I 100% agree.
I mean, at least show me another MMA backgrounded wrestler going up against Hager or something, make it look more legit.
Well, my thing is this: is like they could have taken cues from the Fight Pit in NXT.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like I would have rather them made their own Fight Pit-esque type match. Rather than
or like Lions, like you said before.
Yeah, or like Alliance Den. Like I would have rather something like that. Or hell, if they even wanted to make it even more, they could have did some fucking blood sport Kumite shit and had them just like fighting a fucking parking lot or some shit like
some Kumite shit.
like.
So my immediate memory went back to Boondocks, where anytime they say Kumite,
exactly. Kumite, Black Coolness, yeah.
Yeah,
fought the Kumite.
They could have did some shit like that if that was the case. Like, you know.
Yeah.
But
to made a makeshift thing outside.
Yeah, because to set it up as an MMA fight, and literally this really set the tone for me for the rest of the night.
Go ahead.
I'm saying, yeah, it just set the tone for me for the rest of the night after this match.
No, it made me chuckle too to see the refs like patting down Hager. I'm like, the dude's wearing gloves, trunks, and whatever foot wraps. Oh, patting down Hager and Wardlow alike. Like, you're checking his arms. Like, what is he gonna have here? Like, come on.
Well, see, this is the thing this is why I was pissed off, because from the start of this, it looked legit. Warlow had his hair tied back into a braid, like, yo, we're about to get into this. We're about to make it legit. He came out. I was like, perfect. Let's fucking do this. Hell yeah. But again, as soon as it started, I was like,
actually, you know what? I'm glad that you just brought that up, Jaeger, because I think that was the first thing that lost me the moment it was Ref Aubrey. Because at least if they wanted to pass it off as real, they could have got a legit MMA ref.
Yeah.
But the moment it was Ref Aubrey, I was like, Iro.
There's something about Aubrey that came up later on, and we'll get into that too, which I did not appreciate. So, but it's later on.
Well, let's stop giving this fight any more talk time.
I was done a while ago. But from that we had Team Taz backstage. And Taz was addressing everything with Team Taz minus Brian Cage, basically stating that they have to make sure everything they got to get the shit out the way. They got to fix everything in house. So you got to Ricky Stark said, I love you, brother, but you got to end this shit with Brian Cage. Y'all got to nip this in the butt. And once Stark tried to talk, Powerhouse Hobbs cut him off for a second. Said, "Hey, y'all got to fix it because all y'all left me over there by myself."
They did. And he was like, fuck all that other noise. Y'all left me hanging.
Mm-hmm. So now Taz has proposed a challenge to Hangman Adam Page for...
Okay, take that back. 3 things I was interested in.
Powerhouse Hobbs versus Hangman Adam Page for Saturday Night Dynamite.
Yes.
Now this happened later on, but I'm gonna rope this in with it. Alex Marvez was backstage with Dark Order.
This was one of the things that interested me.
More and again, kudos to AEW for storytelling and consistency and continuity, because he went through and talked to Page and interview was going perfectly fine, but the moment that the concept of the ranking system and the AEW championship was in play, Hangman Adam Page immediately changed the subject and started talking about every other member in the Dark Order, avoiding the question completely. And I love that because it's starting to show, and I don't want to use the term insecurities, but the fact that the pressure of just being the AEW champion and how always Adam Page not being able to win the big one, always it's like that cloud hanging over him. And the fact that they continue to keep that as a thing and then for his character is amazing.
I don't think it's that to me.
What do you think it is?
I think it's the fact that he don't want to be associated with the Elite anymore.
That's interesting.
You got to think. Cody became whatever Cody became. The 3 prominent members are all heels now. Mm-hmm. I think it's the fact that it's dealing with, this is my former tag team partner. This is my former quote unquote family. Look at the way that they're starting to behave and act now. And I don't want to be associated with that. Like, I think it's more of a, I love those guys so much. Look at what they're now becoming. And
That's
now,
some deep shit.
and now, one of the guys I probably love the most, who I shared the tag team championships with, I might potentially have to fight him. And I just don't want to talk about it right now. I'd rather drink away my troubles because the pain. That's how I'm seeing it. I'm seeing it as, you know, watching his former friends become what they're becoming, and here I am having to deal with it now.
Well, you're looking at it from a standpoint of almost like him running away from his past, and not wanting to like. Okay, again,
and now deep. It makes sense to me even more why he's hanging on to another faction with Dark Order, because Dark Order is not judging him. They're not trying to necessarily recruit him or to say, hey, you're part of Dark Order. Hey, this is just a friend of ours at this moment. So now he's using Dark Order as a crutch because he might not know how to be a singles wrestler.
Yeah.
Interesting.
That's deep as fuck.
I mean,
well, yeah, that's how I was taking it last night when I saw it, is the fact that, you know, maybe he's using Dark Order as a crutch. Maybe the drinking is a crutch. And at one point, he's going to have to face reality that him and Kenny Omega have to cross paths. And it's going to be pretty interesting.
I liked that he took the moment, though, while he was deflecting, to talk up the Dark Order.
Yes.
Yeah. It's like 10 was amazing. He got the W, and Uno put Uno was like, yeah, I know I lost. I was like, no. You had an amazing match.
Fight of a lifetime.
Yeah, exactly.
Five got him a new jacket. Nobody likes it.
Like Five, he got a new jacket, and that's cool, I guess.
And the thing about that is he also
teased Johnny Hungy.
Yes,
true that he's coming back, but he also talked to Powerhouse Hobbs and saying just how strong he was. That he almost beat myself in 10 in a 2-on-1 matchup.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I'm gonna take that match. So I like that. I like that aspect of it because even with this whole feud going on with Paige and Cage, you still see Paige being the type of person to still even put up his opponents and say, you know what? Yeah, he's a tough guy. I may not be able to beat him, but we going at it, win or lose, whatever. Mm-hmm. So that definitely good on that. And that's one thing that AEW is definitely doing right as far as character work, because it's one thing NXT does very well. It's just WWE main roster has that fucking issue. But this is why, to me, this show was very good in that aspect as far as story. In ring, again, yes, it kind of flopped a little bit, but as far as overall character and story, this show was very good at that. And from that, we do go to a match, handicap match at that. Darby Allin versus the Men of the Year, Scorpio Sky and All Ego, Ethan Page.
I will say personally, this was the match of the night.
Yes.
I think they messed up the finish. And I don't like the way the commentary team was doing this. The commentary team was talking about the Men of the Year as if they put Darby in this situation. No, they clearly challenged Darby and somebody else other than Sting. Darby chose to go with it alone. So you can't fault All Ego in the face of the revolution to take advantage of the fact that Darby chose to do this by himself. So I didn't like the way the commentary team was talking about them too, as if they just put Darby in this situation that, it didn't have to be a handicap match. Darby made it a handicap match. Yeah. And technically, Darby should have won when he zip tied Page's feet
and had Sky to himself twice.
Yeah, That technically should have been the finish because it would have been like, damn, that was some conniving shit. But no, they went the opposite way with it. But that should have been the end when he's eliminated Paige for that little bit. Damn, these pages and cages, boy, I'm gonna get mixed up.
I'm gonna call Paige Ego for commentary purposes.
Yes, thank you. We'll call him Ego.
I will say this though. I mean, to those of you who, when we did do our recap on Double or Nothing, that spot, because I mean, I'm pretty sure a lot of indie fans have seen this spot plenty of times. But the spot where Paige took Darby and threw him over the ropes into the crowd. So yeah, this spot was done before. So I apologize if y'all were cussing us out and y'all knew this and I didn't.
Because don't forget, Spike Dudley used to get tossed around very viciously back in the day.
Yeah. Oh, but see, Spike was the giant killer. Spike Dudley.
That is true.
So he asked for that all the time. All the time.
That is true.
Since we're making amendments to matches here, Scoot, you brought this up to me. I on my After Dark just offhandedly mentioned a person who was pretty prominent in the indie circuit. I'm sorry, I forgot his name again. But you wanna correct me real quick?
Cameron Cole?
There we go, Cameron Cole and his accomplishments in the indie circuit. I got to do some more indie research. But sorry, Cameron Cole, for just, disregarding you and your achievements.
He'll be all right.
Yeah, he'll be all right.
All right, now that we're done with that.
but yeah, Darby goes over in a successful effort.
There we go.
In a successful effort.
I was disappointed that there was nobody to show up for Darby. I was expecting somebody. Like, I was expecting Sting to say something along the lines of, "You told me to stay home," but you didn't say anything about sending help.
True.
Mm-hmm.
So
something to that effect.
After all Ego hit this Ego's edge and they won, did they jump on Darby after that, or did they just?
I don't think they did. I think they kind of just.
They technically didn't jump on Darby at the end.
If I'm remembering correctly, they just kind of gloated around, but they did not like mop up Darby or anything.
So I'm gonna say this because I don't watch a lot of Dark and Elevation. Maybe Hager can tell me.
What's that?
When all Ego hits that Ego's edge, he makes that shit look stiff.
Yeah, but the way that he tosses them, yeah.
I guess it's great because he's usually doing it to smaller opponents. But like I said, I could be wrong. But the fact that the way he just be lifting Darby up and just heave, like, that shit be beautiful.
Honestly, I thought he was on the bottom rope when he heaved Darby from the turnbuckle. The man is just so big. I don't realize his size sometimes. And when he just did that from the turnbuckle, I was just like, wait, is he standing? No, he's not standing on shit. All right.
But yeah, so I would say that this was definitely my match of the night, and I can give credit to Darby for going at that effort alone. But all Ego in the face of the revolution.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, look, they found a way to still make Darby look strong in a way. Yes. So I mean, it's nobody technically loses in this. Yes,
he definitely knew what he was walking into.
Mm-hmm.
Or foolishly, you know how Darby is. He don't give a shit. Don't go down any more stairs, though.
Please don't.
Take the elevator.
But yeah, from that, we do get another match, and this is kind of where everything started with the whole them starting to throw in stuff from Dark and Elevation, and that was Orange Cassidy versus Cesar Bononi. And they did a backstage segment with the Wingmen.
The Wingmen.
And I like how, yeah, they may not be a dominant force. They may not be moving the needle in terms of AEW Dynamite, but the fact that they're still a faction, they're showing power in numbers in a way, and they're trying to show some type of intimidation, even though them being like almost a comedic, villainous team.
So I'm gonna slightly cut you off right quick, Mr. Dizzle. I don't care what anybody says. This is my opinion. This is my opinion. It's not a fact. So don't come for me for my opinion. To me, the Wingman are the Ever-Rise of AEW.
Wow.
I said it.
Wow.
Prove me wrong.
That's a fact.
I won't give them that discredit. Only because they've been winning on Dark and Elevation.
Ever-Rise wins on 205 Live, so.
But I don't watch that, so.
I don't like Dark and Elevation, so I guess it's kind of
we're tied here. we gotta agree to disagree on
I guess
that.
agree to disagree at this point, because
that's fine.
To me, they're the Ever-Rise of AEW right now.
And the only reason why the needle kind of points more to Scoot on this is only because Cesar Bononi should be the difference maker in this whole situation,
right?
But because of the fact that he, at some points, he seems very green in the ring at times,
and
he doesn't seem like that quintessential. I mean, he was in NXT before, but he didn't do anything there either.
But he didn't do a lot of matches in NXT either, so.
So yeah, he's doing more here on AEW than did in NXT. Yeah. So yeah, but I'm not mad at the Wingmen. I think that they are essential in terms of Dark and Elevation, and in some cases possibly Dynamite, given the screen time, given more opportunities in the ring. But I think all of them need to wrestle more, instead of it being Cesar Bononi, because I think Peter Avalon might wrestle more as well. But I think from what I've seen, it's only been like primarily those two who have more matches under their belt than was it Drake?
Drake Maverick?
Is that his name? No. The
JD Drake.
JD Drake. Okay, JD Drake.
Why did I immediately
Ryan
go
Nemeth.
to Drake Maverick?
and Ryan Nemeth. It just seems like they do more talking than Peter Avalon does a lot of talking himself. So
Peter Avalon. All right, to give y'all some BTE info, Peter Avalon and Ryan Nemeth get their own little bits.
Okay.
They let's see. Peter Avalon right now is stuck on a little love story about him and Leva Bates ever since they broke up as the librarians. Like he left a little book for her. He tries to get in, but like somebody else ends up talking to her before he can or something. So they kind of tease it like a index type of thing.
Okay.
Just less creepy on the Peter Avalon part.
Okay.
And then what is it? Ryan Nemeth will come up to insert wrestler name here. And most recently was Luchasaurus, do a trivia pop quiz where he goes and says, who played the hunky so-and-so in this commercial with Amy Poehler, like, for example? And, of course, anybody he asks this question to just, like, gets it wrong consistently. Or, on the one occasion, Trent, he came up to him, who played hunky lifeguard in this thing? And Trent was like, oh, that was you. And he's like, yeah, whoa, yeah, you got it. He's like, well, I mean, you told me, like, 2 seconds ago. So, but most people get it wrong, and he's like, you know what, screw all this, like I'm just like, we're done here. It was me. Yeah. So they get their little bits. JD Drake and Cesar Bononi are really the only ones that are, I shouldn't say the only ones, but they're really the ones that are racking up matches. I see them. And now they do their pinky like I don't know. I guess that's their thing. That's their little symbol of some kind of a victory or some kind of faction. Excuse me.
Pinky in there.
However, every time JD Drake imitates, like everybody else will get their pinky in to do the little unison, and then JD Drake caps it off by like, I don't know why, but he goes like spits on the pinky and gets it in there with them.
Okay, me walking in on spits on the pinky. That's the wing.
So that's the wingman.
Sexual.
It's I guess intended to look that way, but the wingmen they all put a pinky up together like this, so it's just nothing but like 3 pinkies, and then JD Drake's the final one, but he goes like and then like shoves it in with them. So yeah, I guess it's supposed to look. Well, it's funny that y'all say these kind of implications and what they sound like and look like, because that's immediately what I had to like yell at JR at for the commentary. He's like, I'm looking at these guys and I'm not seeing like what like where their common connection is. To which I had to yell at JR. It's because they all look like porn stars. JR, sorry, I'm playing with Loki as I'm like telling you this, but he's like looking me dead in the face. But yeah, they all just look like a different iteration of a porn star, or like the male in a porn star. Like JD Drake just looks like the plumber. Cesar Bononi's like your common your exact. Thank you. Avalon's your maybe your pizza delivery guy, or even your librarian. and of course,
our professor.
And of course, Ryan Nemeth is your hunky insert so and so.
He's the guy that's always the guy in the video with the girl who wins the AVN awards.
Yeah. Oh, that's what I was just telling Scoot. God damn it.
Wait, hold on, wait.
I was just telling Scoot about his BTE bits where he comes up to random wrestlers and does like a Hollywood pop quiz and goes like, who played if I'm remembering this correctly, the hunky lifeguard with famous Hollywood star Amy Poehler. And the wrestlers that he interviews just constantly get it wrong. He gives them like 2 or 3 guesses. Again, like, who played the hunky lifeguard? And they're just like, oh yeah, like Nick Cage. I was like, no, well, sorry, not Nick Cage, sorry, Jeff Goldblum. And God damn it.
Dave?
Yep. Loki, the camera is over there. Say hi.
Loki.
Okay. But yeah, it's very loving at the moment. Yeah, but that's the wingmen. I don't know. I'm kind of liking their little shit gimmick, but
I don't mind.
I guess Loki agrees.
I think it's necessary. It's definitely necessary. I'm not going to get into this whole match.
What do you want?
Orange Cassidy won. Not surprising.
Wait. I do have one other gripe about this match. Where the fuck did the best friends disappear off to?
I mean, they were there.
I asked that about Chris Statlander, but
yeah, this is where my attention went, because I watched this match and it was cool, but after the match was over, they were getting prepared for the obvious best friends hug, and the camera did me a favor because it allowed me to see a side of old Statlander in a different way, and so now I think I officially have to say,
I'm getting it.
But Chris Statlander, though.
That's been me since her return.
I know. But I seen it, and I was like, now I see what you saw. So now I'm seeing what I'm seeing, and I see it, and I say, but Chris Statlander, though.
I will say this in the words of Beast Boy, how he be talking to Raven. It's all about the legs, mama.
You're right. What do you want?
Yeah.
I'm talking about Statlander.
You know what? It just well yeah. She gonna get some ring time again, and I look forward to it.
She's been getting.
I do look forward to it.
She's been getting in there on Dark and Elevation, but
I want to see her on Dynamite though.
Ooh yeah. I'm hoping that she's gonna be the one to take it off Britt Baker.
Yeah, I mean, one would think that, but that's not gonna happen.
I mean,
unfortunately, I think that's gonna be for someone else.
Good old TR.
I don't even know if that's gonna be the person.
I mean, if Serena Deeb keep doing what she's doing, that could be the case, but I don't think that either. I really think it's. I mean, but you know what? You are right, Jaeger.
Now, don't get me wrong. She's the front runner.
Yeah,
but I still might have to throw my hat in of maybe. I wouldn't be surprised if Jade Cargill.
Ooh.
And judging by what happened later on, you might be right. Only because they're making the women's division very unpredictable because they're not, as far as the women's division, they're not giving a fuck about faces or heels. They're just like,
not really,
yo. So, yeah. Now, we got to talk about it because it was on the show. I don't care. I don't want to talk about it. I will say this though. One, I'm glad AEW actually did the pride stuff aside from Cody Rhodes and said, hey, we have these shirts by blah 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 for this. So
they
cool.
did that last Friday as well.
Wait,
I just noticed it.
Match?
No, what? Because I'm talking about Cody Rhodes.
Yeah.
It was. This was the next match. Congratulations to Cody and Brandy for one.
Yeah,
because they, which also congratulations to Mox and
Renee.
And Renee Young or Renee Paquette. Sorry.
Yes.
For it's crazy how both of these births kind of just happen around the same time.
Right.
But yeah. So yeah, we had this match.
Hey,
I'm gonna.
What's up?
Only because I want to walk this dog because he is driving me up a wall at the moment. Just gonna go ahead and give my 2 cents.
Go ahead.
I'm glad Anderson
Brock got the pin.
I mean, yes, I'm glad. Spoiler alert, but yes, I'm glad Brock got the pin, and I'm glad he got out of those, for lack of a better term, white boy summer clothes. But Kid is not ring ready.
No,
or at least he does not look it at all, and needs to put in some time on Dark and Elevation just to get the greenery off if we're gonna keep him on TV.
I'm glad you said that.
Well, hold on. Before you go, because I want him to hear this.
Go ahead.
I had to do a little bit of research, and if what the internet is saying is true, Brock Anderson is the oldest 23-year-old I've ever seen in my life.
Okay, I was just looking that up. So he's 23?
According to what I found, he's 23.
Man, look damn near 30.
That's what I said. He's the oldest 20. Like I said, unless you find something else, most of the sites I saw had him as 23.
That better be his ring age. Shit.
Because he's the oldest 23. I was like, damn, Brock look old.
He does. That just could be his dad's genes, though.
It could be.
Now, I'm going to walk this dog. Y'all can go ahead and dismantle this.
I don't, you know what? To be perfectly honest with you, I don't want to spend that much time on it.
No.
No. This will only take me a couple minutes.
Yeah, no, you go ahead, Jaeger. We're just not. Yeah, we're definitely not spending time on this. Yeah, I'm at the point now where I'm looking at this, and I hate the fact that Brock didn't make his own kind of debut because one, he came up with Cody Rhodes. He didn't have his own entrance. And granted, that could have been by design with the whole, Arn Anderson coming out with Cody Rhodes, so that kind of being the whole thing. But it just sucks. And I wish that this would have just been him in his own match, whether it be on Dark, Elevation, whatever. But to have Cody Rhodes kind of usher it in, and this is one thing that kind of pissed me off about it too, because even after the match, once the match was said and done, Brock was getting his hand raised. He went and had his moment with Arn, but they kept cutting to Cody with this look on his face, and I'm like, okay, well, nothing technically happened at the end of the match. He kind of just, he didn't get the pin, whatever. But
it was so awkward.
Yeah, and that's exactly what it was. So, and it's funny because I fast forwarded past the second half of the match, and then stopped it during the end, and then brought it back when I seen Cody, because I was like, wait, did I miss something? And then I brought it back, and then I looked. I was like, wait, nothing happened. So why is he looking all distraught at the ramp? So
exactly, like he was like he was looking pissed, like I was supposed to be the one to win the match or something. I don't know, like it was weird.
Yeah, exactly. So yeah, that's my thing with that. So I'm just like, I don't know. Like that's whatever. But yeah, it's just that Brock gets the pin, cool. Still, this whole feud is still not important. Brock should have had his own match with something else. Cody needs to turn fucking heel. This whole feud needs to stop. But we can't stop because I got a fucking strap match whenever they're supposed to have this shit. So
I think it's the first Dynamite in July.
Okay, so they should have done this shit. They should have had this shit scheduled for Saturday Night Dynamite.
Yeah.
Just to give it something else. But hey, it doesn't move the needle for me. I don't care.
No.
Whatever. Going from this to yet another good thing as far as story, and one of the reasons why I feel like this whole Inner Circle Pinnacle shit could have been done way better in the very beginning, and it's almost like they're trying to either play in catch up or trying to pick up the slack where they kind of just fell off, and that's this whole vignette between.
Okay, take that back. 4 things I cared about. Number 2. Okay, so I'm gonna just go and put it out there. Anything I cared about in this show was a vignette.
Yes,
of some sort.
Same.
It was a vignette or interview of some sort. But yes, this was the second thing I cared about. I totally forgot the back and forth between FTR and Santana and Ortiz. I totally forgot.
And this was wonderful. The way they set this up, the way they did the parallels between the two, and the way that they ended it off with Santana. Santana's line that ended it up was fucking perfect. The fact that he stated is that everybody here can worry about tag titles. It's like we're the ones keeping this company afloat. We're the reason while you guys have options. Dope. Completely dope. And I love that because that's the best way that you can say, okay, this is why we're not worried about the tag titles right now. We can get them any fucking time.
Anytime
we're doing you guys a favor right now by holding this company afloat in this tag division. And granted, there may be some falsities in that, but the way that it was delivered, I'm not going to argue with it.
No.
At all. And the way FTR even delivered it too is like, you don't know how we grew up. We grew up on the wrong side of the tracks too. And we may have suits and we may buy this, but that's because we get what we deserve. Maybe you guys didn't learn anything on your way coming up. Another good parallel to a lot of guys, for those people who don't understand, it's like, you hear that common thing, where it's like people who grew up in the hood want to get out and people who haven't want to go to the hood. And the way that FTR delivered that with the whole, we grew up, without this, but because we're able to afford this, we live like this. So even though we're able to live like this doesn't mean that we haven't, that we don't know what it's like. It just means that we deserve better for ourselves and we've elevated from that point. Maybe you guys didn't learn anything from the way that you grew up. Just the whole fucking segment.
I see we're way past the Cody shit.
Yeah. Oh fuck yeah. We're done with that. But yeah, and I like the fact that they still haven't set up a match between these two. They're just building, and they're making it so that way we're anticipating this even more. And when it happens, we're gonna be just chomping at the bit to see this fucking match. And that's what I need AEW to continue to do, because this is what they started on, is building story like this. So And it's effortless. You have all these guys with talent who's able to talk, who's able to give fucking promos, who's able to build their fucking character to the point to where the work is already done. You don't have to force anything. Just let them go out there and build to the fucking match that everybody wants to see. And it's funny how the parallel was between this and the shit that happened at the beginning of the show with the MMA cage fight. Because that is a bad example of what you're doing with this whole feud. And then the vignette between FTR and Proud and Powerful is the best example of how you built a feud between these two factions. I mean, ridiculous.
Yes.
But I fucking love this though. I love this.
I see them doing that night one of Fyter Fest.
That's fine. As long as they keep building towards it. Yeah. So
that's only a couple weeks away.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which is perfectly fine, which is why this just fucking works. But yeah, from there we get a nothing women's match, but also a not nothing women's match.
So this is the thing. I wanted to shit all over this match to be like, why is this on Dynamite? This should have been on Dark or Elevation. But I applied the Xia Li and Mercedes Martinez thing. How would we ever know these women were ready to be on Dynamite if they're not on Dynamite?
It's also the return of Penelope Ford from her, would she have shoulder injury as well? Same as I think she had a shoulder injury, same as Kip.
Okay. Also, is that why he's out?
Well, I mean, Miro slammed him in there a few times.
Yes. But let's just go ahead and everybody. Penelope won.
Yeah.
It was the end that I cared about.
Yes, for two reasons.
Miro is starting to become that guy for me. For him to come out and be like, "Oh, Penelope, where's Kip?"
You know damn well what you done to that man.
And he was like, "How could you be out here all by yourself when these men are here and everything?" Seems
three
like
against one situation.
Oh my god, it was amazing.
She's like, but because I'm such a nice guy, I'm not gonna let this happen. I'm not gonna let them gang up on you like this. And it's funny because he was saying that as she was leaving the fucking ring.
Yes.
Yeah.
And so then he whooped up on Griff Garrison. Julia Hart wasn't even in the ring at that point. But that was the first thing. This is the second thing that I like, and this is why I griped about this during, I think, the tag match with the Young Bucks when they got their championship opportunity, where they tried to capitalize on Brian Pillman Jr. via the dark side of the ring with Brian Pillman. If you're going to build up somebody who has legacy within the business, that's not how you do it. This is how you do it, because I looked at it and I was like, this is specifically why they kind of singled this whole situation out, because now Brian Pillman Jr. is getting a shot. I think it's for the TNT title.
It is.
This match. Okay, so yeah.
Okay.
So this is how you do that. You do that by putting them in situations that's going to showcase them as an in-ring competitor, not because of you talking about how his dad had a fucking Dark Side of the Ring documentary. You do this by letting them stand on their own 2 feet, and this is the best way to do that, because
agreed.
Yes, the Varsity Blondes are like that almost. I'm not going to put them in the same boat as FTR, but they are like an old school tag team, because this is kind of how they would have boosted these other tag teams back in the day, because they're very cliche with the whole varsity high school thing, and then cheerleader with Julia Hart and shit like that. Cool, 2-time
national champ.
But yeah, and so you allow Brian Pillman Jr. to get the kind of leg up, like they put him just for a quick second as an equal to Miro when they were having that little brawl, because they didn't let Miro do to Brian Pillman Jr. what he did to Griff Garrison. Griff Garrison was in seconds and out in the same amount of seconds. So yeah, so we're gonna get a match that showcases Brian Pillman Jr. Now, the thing I was talking about earlier with Aubrey Edwards, I don't like her in the middle of these brawls like that, because there was one point when I think the very last time where Miro had charged at Brian Pillman Jr. He charged at him, and they both fell on Aubrey Edwards.
Oh shit! I ain't paying attention to that.
Yeah, and she was fighting to get them off of her, and that's why I'm like, okay, cool. Aubrey Edwards, good for the showmanship and the showcasing of like the theatrics of a referee, but in this situation, you did not need her there. You did not need her in the middle of that. That's where I was like, I don't care for that.
Would have been funnier with Bryce Rensburg.
Yeah, that would have been fine. But yeah, that whole thing, just no. But yeah. Now, I don't know if y'all had anything else to say on that aspect.
Other than Miro, that was.
I'll say that I honestly didn't know for a second who was going to take this W, because Julia Hart had been winning a good amount in Dark and Elevation.
And see, I was applying your logic, the whole faction logic.
Yeah.
I was applying your logic that, oh, well, she's with her faction. She has it, but nah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm glad they gave it to Penelope.
It was also Penelope's debut back, so that's where the waters got murky.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, this now what I'm about to talk about now happened earlier in the show, but because this match is technically next, I need to talk about it now. And that's the backstage promo with Kazarian, Eddie Kingston, and Penta. First off, shout out to this whole character change within Kazarian, because the whole Elite Hunter thing, we get his feud there, but the way that he allowed his character to just change, like doing this whole biblical shit, I love it.
Small gripe with that.
Go ahead.
Mainly because Lance Archer already did it.
Okay.
And I mean, Kazarian did it well. I'm not knocking Kazarian for doing that promo. Great promo. But I was like, I've heard this before.
Okay, so maybe that's what, because maybe I wasn't paying attention to Lance Archer, and I'm glad you brought that up, because to me that never registered. So maybe it's because I never paid attention, but it felt like the first time. So I get it. So maybe like the comparisons are different because of the fact that I didn't register the whole Lance Archer stuff. So yeah, but like for me, when it came, the way that it came off, I was like, cool. It was a little heavy on certain parts, but the gist of it, I liked.
Oh yeah, no,
and I like the way that his character is changing in the direction that it's taking, because of the fact that it does kind of separate him from the SU thing, and it seems more than just like a vendetta. It's more like, okay, well, this whole thing, he has a gripe against them, but it's changed him in a way to where it's allowed him to step up his game, and he has more intensity to him. So much so with now his entrance, like he has pyro now. So
yeah,
that's a step
also,
up.
I don't know if you've noticed his video for his entrance now. He goes by a new name besides the Elite Hunter.
What is it?
Fuck. I had it on the tip of my tongue. But my point to it is that, then some people don't know this, him and Cody have a cigar company.
Really?
Yeah. I think it's called American Rebel or something of that nature. But he used the emblem, or he used the logo for that cigar company as his logo.
Oh, okay.
Damn it, I can't remember what the hell. It's escaping me. I gotta stop thinking about it. But you know what? I got Sling right here. Let me do some digging.
Yeah, I thought I could pull it up, but nobody has it right now on that.
You can pull up the cigar company though.
Oh, okay.
Like just type in like Frank Kazarian.
Oh, you talking about that like that red logo?
Yeah, with the skull and all that.
Yeah. Yeah, I know exactly which one you're talking about.
That was yesterday. But yeah, no, he came out with a nice little thing with that pyro with his whole entrance. Oh, we're skipping over a bit between Jungle Boy and we're skipping over 2 bits because there was a promo between Jungle Boy and Kenny Omega, and then let's just say it, Kenny, they were Marvez was trying to interview Jungle Boy. Kenny showed up on a golf cart with Callis, and Kenny was really saying, you know what, let's skip the fight. Let's just have it out right here. And Jungle Boy's like, I'd rather beat you clean in the ring. And Kenny got the upper hand at first, but then Jungle Boy started putting the works on him. Yep. And good old Nakazawa provides the distraction as Kenny and Callis speed off on the golf cart. Nakazawa's trying to get on the golf cart with him, and they kicked him off. Yeah, he kicked him off the golf cart and just completely left Nakazawa be the fodder. Oh, we're also missing JR's interview with good old El Idolo.
Which I'm definitely. I want to get into that last after the main event because I want to. I don't want to say extensively, but I do want to talk about that outside of the AEW Dynamite review.
Fair.
But yeah, that and then Lance Archer and Jake Roberts had their segment, which now that I notice, I thought he cut his hair, but I guess he still has it long, but he just kept it black. So
no, he just has one big braid instead of the 2.
Yeah.
But wait. I do want to go back to the Kenny Omega Jungle Boy segment, and I just want to put my little 2 cents in. That was the dumbest fucking segment of the night.
Oh.
Kenny Omega was fucking irritating this time around. I was fucking with Kenny, and that was irritating. I was like, please let this be over. Please.
Now, the reason I'm not mad at it is for the main event stuff because during the main event everything fucking clicked to me with the Elite, but we're gonna get into why. So,
he goes by the Heavy Metal Rebel Kaz now.
Is that what it is?
Yeah, and it's got the cigar logo right up there with it.
Okay.
It's red-eyed. It's got horns. It's got like elephant tusks. It's like a little badass little thing. Yeah.
Okay. He's gonna be TNT champion one day.
Oh, he's got to be.
Yeah, he's definitely gonna be. Wait, was there anything else we missed outside of those? Just to verify.
Oh, Britt Baker's little promo with Vicky Guerrero.
Thank you. Yeah, before we get into the fucking main event, this right here. One, shouts out to Skivone for being the character that he is and being Britt Baker's one of her best friends. But again, to the whole deal of them not going by faces or heels in terms of the women's division and just saying, hey, fuck it, everybody wants that fucking title. Now, of course, the interview with Andrade had happened before this. So this is why Vicky kind of acknowledged the fact that she's the one that brought in Andrade, and so Tony Khan owes her a favor. And this was one of the favors that she asked for, which was a match between Britt Baker and Rebel, not Reba, not Rebel, however you want to say it. And her and against Nyla Rose, as well as Vicky Guerrero, which I never thought that I'd be seeing Vicky Guerrero in the ring like ever again. But apparently this is happening. So I don't care too much for it, but it makes for good segments, I guess. So yeah, but regardless, we're getting that match. I don't know when. I don't know if it's next week on Saturday or if it's on the Wednesday back, but we'll have to see. But either way, yeah, I don't know why Vicky just didn't ask for a title match between Nyla Rose and Britt Baker. So, yeah.
Oh, that's coming.
Oh, I'm sure, but I'm just saying, like in terms of like favors, it's like the whole Mox and Kingston against Don Callis situation where it's like you ask for a match with Kenny and Michael Nakazawa instead of just asking for a tag team title match. You know, so it's weird, but I digress. But yeah,
we can. I can just say, Hardy Family Office had a promo with Christian, and I'm glad Scoot's not here because then he just.
I'm gonna do it for him.
There we go.
There we go.
Four men had to lock a guy up in a cage. All right, cool. They put Christian Cage in a cage. Anyways,
ridiculous. But yeah, so now this is another thing. AEW doesn't use the term triple threat, or I mean, sorry, 6-man tag. They use the term trios match.
Yes,
which is good because, of course, for the rumored trios titles, it would make sense. So this match happened. All the players involved in it, cool, but I wish they would have done this differently. Like I think if it was a regular tag match, it probably would have been better with like Kingston and Kaz. But this whole like 6-man deal, I don't necessarily need it. But I need, because I know they're trying to factor in the whole thing with Kaz like feuding with the Elite, but I wish they would have done it differently. Because this just isn't.
Kaz's feud with the Elite needs to be. What am I trying to call him? If he wants to be more heavy metal rebel, as his new title is gonna uphold, he needed to be more ferocious toward the Elite. He needed to be more ferocious toward, I guess, the people he's been jumping every chance he gets, the Good Brothers.
Yeah. I think this needs to be a situation where he is more so. I mean, to your point, Jaeger, he needs to be more to a point where it's like, fuck the sanctioned matches. Like, I just want to fuck everybody up.
Exactly.
And I think this is almost at a disservice to him, because I think you've already done this whole thing with Kingston, Penta, and Pac with their match with Bucks and Brandon Cutler. This is almost like a rehash of it, just with different players in the mix. So that's why it kind of just turned me off a little bit.
I think this is just more for the Elite to be more heelish, aka the cold spray being used, Nick Jackson being in the stand or amongst the fans, and then showing up out of nowhere. It sucks that it's with the way that they're doing it, because they're halfway. Because for those of you that don't know why Pac wasn't like involved, it wasn't because of a feud or how he doesn't get along with Eddie Kingston. They did to Pac what they did to Phoenix. You know how they say, "Oh, we're not gonna show this. Y'all can put it on BT or whatever."
Yeah.
I mean, cool. You want to plug BT as something that you should watch to get some extra info, but this is a legit feud here.
Yeah,
you
so
need
to some clip.
Exactly. They needed to show some clip of like the Bucks, because it was the Bucks. They took out Pac, like they like super kicked him into a wall, or against a wall, I should say. So it's like they're crushing his head, and like you see Pac, and he's laid out. He's just like this, and like doing a little, I guess, gimmick twitch. I don't know, but they're knocking off these people that are opposing them. And that's something that needs to be discussed, I guess, more heavily, not saying, "Oh, we're not going to show this on TV." Because when it shows them jumping Phoenix, it really wasn't like brutal or anything on BTE. It was, and Pac, I would actually argue, got a worse treatment or a more brutal treatment. So kudos for that. But show that shit.
Exactly.
You're on cable TV. They say shit like 3 times, 4 times every night. They say bitch. They say all this. Show us the more intense stuff. Please.
Exactly. and as they should, because it would breathe more life into the continuity and the consistency of the storytelling. So yes. Now, in terms of this whole match in general, yeah, it worked out for for the heels. Now, this is one thing that I was gonna say about the heels is that now that I get it about the elite remind me of those cliche late 80s, early 90s like movie villains that have like that comedic aspect to them, but are like, still bad. But they're like a step above those because they actually get shit done. But that's what they with the dress, with the attire, the demeanor, everything. It reminds me of late 80s, early 90s movie villains.
I mean, if we think about what their models are after enough, I mean, that's what they are all modeled after. I shouldn't say modeled after, but they're influenced by late 80s, early 90s gimmicks or tag teams. So, and I mean, I should say throughout 80s, not even so much late 80s. But yeah, it's definitely not. I mean, Bucks love what they do. Definitely liking their shit. Kenny Omega has been hit or miss, but it's all storytelling with him. I can tell it's all about the long game.
True.
He does miss though. It would have been nice to see Good Brothers get some entrance music, but it ain't terrible. Oh, okay, sorry, they're good. Jesus.
But yeah, I mean, obviously, the heels, the elite goes over on this with the help of Nick Jackson, who is doing amazing fucking heel work.
Per the usual.
Yeah, but I waited for the Andrade El Idolo deal here because interview pretty much paint by the numbers. He pretty much established the fact that he's open to going after all the singles titles within AEW for the men, obviously TNT title as well as the AEW championship. He never mentioned the AAA shit that he's actually rumored to go after, but
I didn't like that they didn't drop that. But
I thought they were, but here's one thing that I appreciate that they did. Granted, he was speaking English, but they still put subtitles for this, and this
he
is
delved more into Spanish towards the ending of the interview.
Clear message to WWE on how they try to book their foreign heels or foreign competitors. You can still book them in a way to where they can still speak broken English in a way and still come off in a way that actually makes them still look good. He didn't look bad in this.
Do it with Io Shirai. They do it with Asuka.
Yeah. Well, I mean, NXT does it very well. Period.
Yes.
But with AEW and the way they did this interview, it's like, JR was asking questions, and the way that Andrade was delivering his message. I mean, was it perfect? No, but was it effective? Absolutely, because it wasn't something that decreased his character. And that's one thing that I appreciate. So and this is why I wanted to wait. I wanted to wait to the end because I wanted to make sure this came off across in that deal, is the fact that this is how you book somebody who may not have English as a first language, but still able to be effective as far as the overall package. And that's what this is. So, Now, I don't know if Scoot had anything to say about that because he's non-existent. But we're definitely about to get into the predictions
on the Scootical, man.
On the Scootical. So, quick moment, because these predictions, we got to have a fresh plate for this.
I mean,
we must. So just give me 1 second. 1, 2, 7, 5, 30 seconds.
Since I'm here. Sorry, browsing through the matches, browsing through everything else just to make sure we didn't miss on anything. We did talk about Jake the Snake and Lance Archer in what looked like an abandoned warehouse. They're worked up. They looked quite worked up, especially about the fact that he's still not being utilized or still not getting opportunities, despite the fact that he just tears through people and is getting more and more frustrated about it. I'm ready for Lance Archer to show up and show out. I need to see him and Miro again. Let's see. Is there anything else? Oh, my gripe. Now, this is not AEW's fault. This is more TNT's fault. But you cut a little commercial where a lucky fan got to see a match happen in front of their face, or a couple of fans got to see like a private match. It featured SCU. This kind of screws with continuity in the sense that SCU is supposed to be disbanded now. And I mean, cool, you had a private match, but like, please just keep it within the storylines here and the storytelling, because you did your best to show their opponents, but you did not really hide the fact that it was. I mean, you can't hide a bald head like Christopher Daniels. You can't really hide Kazarian. Like, who the hell else would have been in there with Christopher Daniels other than Kaz? So, TNT, my gripe to you was, just stick with the continuity. Now, I'm the only one here. So, Statlander. No, I'm kidding. I really don't have a whole lot. Man, that 30 seconds is stretching. And it's come down to me and a wall. But look at this logo appreciation. Let's just go to this one. It's beautiful. Look at that. Just to make the A. Oof. But then also this man's logo. Right down here. It's just appropriate for the powerhouse of T.A.G. Look at that. It's got gold.
But
like
what about the purveyor of predictions? I think this is something that's necessary.
You mother.
I think there we go.
He did the thing, folks. He absolutely did the thing.
Now my power of predictions where it's very, very, very weary at times. So I'll have to do these
WWE.
predictions.
It shouldn't be too hard.
These predictions have to go very quickly. But I'm I think I have it. And although Powerhouse Scoot lies upon his throne on the Scootical, we will not wait any longer.
This man went and put on a damn crown.
I mean, I didn't put this on. I think this was blessed upon me of being the purveyor of predictions.
Did you go to a Saudi Arabia show for all that?
No. What I did was I was blessed. I was blessed with this token of prediction appreciation by subjects who shall not be named. But what I will do is I will bless the viewers with my predictions of what will happen at WWE's Hell in a Cell, since we are on the precipice.
Since we are approaching.
Yes, on the precipice of Hell in a Cell, since Sunday is just hours away. So, with that, the what could potentially be the first match? Seth Rollins versus Cesaro.
Go ahead.
Oh, you would like me to go first. That's very kind of you, good sir. I am predicting Seth Rollins to beat Cesaro in this match.
And I hope Cesaro wins.
You should hope, because then you'd be hoping that I am right, which more than likely shall be the case. I appreciate your encouragement.
Wait, you just said Seth Rollins. Hold on a second. I said I hope Cesaro wins, sir.
Yeah, well, I changed that to you saying Seth Rollins.
If Cesaro doesn't start making some headway towards the belt, it's just gonna be it's just wasted potential to me. Like he's been on a run.
Fair enough. So then your choice would be for young
that Swiss
Cesaro,
cyborg,
the Swiss cyborg / Swiss Superman. I get it. I understand. Well, from that, we go on to the next match, which is Kevin Owens versus Sami Zayn.
What is this? The 10th time, 12th time, 15th, 20th?
I would say the 30th, but I mean,
okay.
Who am I?
Oh, I'm not counting.
Yeah,
regular show.
Kevin Owens. Kevin Owens is the one.
I don't know the storytelling. So, what you want to give me some background?
Oh, there is no background. I haven't been keeping up with SmackDown either. Everything comes from the Crown.
Okay. Well then,
it speaks to me.
I just wish I knew what the hell the backstory is here, because of that's just my only thing to go off. But since I look to dethrone this man, I'm gonna go ahead and say Sami Zayn.
Interesting. Well then, fair enough. Well, next up, we have Alexa Bliss versus Shayna Baszler.
Blazer.
I want to say Baszler, but
I think we know which way this way is going. Loki, you're getting fed. Calm down.
I give some supernatural theatrics to this, and I don't truly see a finish, but I see Alexa Bliss standing tall.
Yes. I'm going to have to agree with you in this regard.
Fair enough.
Actually, I'll backtrack.
Oh.
It would only be apropos for Sami Zayn to lose and continue this conspiracy he's working on. So I'm going to have to agree with you on 2 counts so far.
Fair enough.
Look, people, we're just trying to rack up the win-loss column, so somebody can come out ahead besides Mr. Dizzle.
I mean, whatever happens. I just know what will happen is me standing. I can predict me standing above the masses, so that is very true. But what we get is potentially one of our first Hell in a Cell matches of the night, which will be Bianca Belair versus Bayley for the SmackDown Women's Championship. And I'm just going to go ahead and give this to Bianca Belair. Now, there's a part of me that wants to say Bayley, but not yet. It's going to be Bianca.
Bianca can't lose yet.
This is very true. Very true.
Yeah, it's going to be Bianca.
Oh, so again, you also agree with me on this one as well.
Look, this isn't about you, sir. This is about racking up the win-loss column.
It's cool, and I mean, and look, the winning stands on my side, so I understand. I truly understand it, but it's cool.
You're
because
making
what's
it hard
next?
to agree with you.
What's next is Rhea Ripley defending her title, Raw Women's Championship, against none other than Charlotte Flair.
This is the second time, third time.
I would hope that during this match, Charlotte does the right thing and just takes the fall. So I'm going to give this, because I go against all better judgment because of my feelings for Charlotte Flair's character, and I'm going to give this to Rhea Ripley.
See how Loki's on not your side?
It almost sounded like he was truly agreeing with me, but
oh no, that was some hatred because
ouch.
some best friend of his, and I mean best friend in the most sarcastic way possible, just happened to walk by as you were talking about this.
I see. But I also see Rhea Ripley being victorious. So yes, Rhea Ripley.
I want Rhea Ripley to win this.
But
WWE might just WWE.
So
I'm going to go against my nature or my better self and say Charlotte might take this victory.
Oh, it's very interesting.
As much as I don't want that to happen. So it's a win-win either way.
Okay.
If I lose on that decision, then I'm happy. And if I win on that decision, I'm happy.
Okay. That won't happen, but it's okay. Now,
like I said, either way, I'm happy.
The potential main event to this, or the potential last match. I don't want to say main event. I want to say the potential last match to this. The Hell in a Cell. Wow. It's the crown. It's the crown, folks. The Hell in a Cell match for the WWE Championship. Bobby Lashley defending his title against Drew McIntyre for what should be, I guess, the last time, because I believe this is a last chance Hell in a Cell match. So that stipulation is there. So I'm assuming that based on the last chance stipulation that this is because Drew McIntyre has a final chance of going after the WWE Championship. And
is it that, or is it just his last chance going against Lashley for the championship?
I believe that's what it is.
Okay.
So I'm going to go ahead and still give this to Lashley and say that Lashley is taking this.
Observing the holiday that is upon us, I can't argue against Lashley taking this victory either.
Fair enough. We are in agreement. But now there's still one thing, because it was Wikipedia that had put 7 matches on this card, but then immediately removed it. So I think there may be potentially a impromptu match between Roman Reigns and Dominic. So if this happens to be the case, this could be a potential sudden death situation for those in these predictions. So if this match were to happen, who would you choose, Hager?
Oh, it's going to be Roman Reigns.
I also feel the same way on that one. So with that being the case, that is the predictions for this. Scoot will eventually put his predictions up on social media, more than likely on Instagram, and he will lay this out promptly for those of you who haven't watched this, or for those of you who need to keep track of what the scoreboard is on Instagram. So
I have no idea why you wouldn't be watching this, but
now of course we can't sign off without Scoot. So I'm gonna fast track this, mainly because there are things that need to be done on the outside of this. So I'm gonna give an impromptu too sweet, a royal too sweet from the Prince of Predictions.
Yikes!
Bam, there it is. And I'm gonna bid you all adieu from the crown of predictions. And until you see us on the recap of Hell in a Cell, I bid you a wonderful tag the fucketh out hit.
Out.